Well, this professor stepped up to the podium and said, does Jesus bear any physical scars of the crucifixion currently in heaven? Are there holes in Jesus' hands in heaven right now? And does it matter to you whether or not there are? I remember in that moment thinking, I never thought about that before. Why would that matter to me? But over the course of that class and the discussion that we had, I gained a far deeper understanding and even an appreciation of the importance of Jesus' body and our bodies. The correlation between God's body and our own. The importance of the resurrection of the body gives context to the scripture that I read here a moment ago. When the disciple Thomas refuses to believe in Jesus' bodily resurrection unless he can see it with his own eyes and feel it with his own hands. Now, for some reason, I feel the need to defend the namesake of the disciple of Thomas. I kind of feel like he gets a bad rap in history. Because yes, he doubted that Jesus rose from the dead, but so did all the other disciples. When the women showed up and said, hey, the tomb is empty. None of them believed. Why do they get a break from history? And it's not as if we refer to Peter as denying Peter. I mean, he denied Jesus 3 times during Jesus' trial. So what gives? Earlier, when Jesus is ready to return to Judea to see Lazarus' grave, the disciples don't want to go because the last time they were there, they tried to stone him to death. And it was Thomas who first spoke up and said, let us go with him and die with him if need be. That doesn't sound like a doubting Thomas to me. So yeah, I kind of feel like Thomas gets a bad rap in history. I don't know why I feel like I need to defend that, but I do. After Jesus' resurrection, Thomas's ministry would take him into India, and some reports say all the way into China. Thomas, by tradition, was martyred by a spear 30 years after the resurrection in India. Modern readers might wonder why it was so important for Thomas to actually feel the holes in Jesus' body in order to believe. But as a self-proclaimed skeptic, I think for Thomas, the bodily resurrection had to be real. Like, I don't want to just hear about it, I need to see it for myself. That Jesus had to really raise from the dead for my sins to be paid for. This could not just be a ghost or a specter. The holes needed to be there. That's why Gnosticism doesn't work. God had to be human in order to die. God had to be God in order to pay the price for all of humanity. You know, for us today, it may not be that big a deal. We have the immortality of the soul. Who we really are is more than just our bodies and our minds. And we probably think something along the lines of we'll be given a new body in heaven. I sure hope that I will be given a new body in heaven. How about you, David? But you have to admit, there is something fitting and beautiful and necessary about the actuality of seeing physical evidence of the atonement on Jesus' resurrected body. It's like the difference between knowing about somebody and knowing them. You know, it's a big difference between knowing about God and actually knowing him. For Thomas, it had to be real. He had to see it. He had to touch it. He had to say, this is the God-man that I loved, resurrected. See, this really happened. My sins have been paid for, and Jesus has the scars on his body to prove it. And Jesus' response to Thomas is so intimate. He says, Thomas, come here. I want you to come and see. Come touch me. Put your hands in my wounds and believe. Jesus invites us into the physical reality of the crucifixion.